supports roam around.
Yeah, that's the one here that might be tricky for Gyrocopter to deal with, and they'll take it out. What else is really available? Like you talked about, the Brewmaster, I suppose, is one. The Nyx Assassin is another that you were just mentioning. Vici Gaming, though, now we're going to find out where they're going to send this Tiny. Obviously, the Gyrocopter played in the safe lane, so I assume the Tiny's kind of like one of those dual offlanes that you were talking about with the Coddle and the Tiny, so you probably pick a mid laner here for Vici Gaming. Well, actually, no, they have the Earthshaker, so I don't know what they're going to do with the lanes here for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, they have the possibility of doing Coddle and Shaker as like a dual offlane potentially. They can make it the Shaker, Tiny, Gyro their 3 cores. They can make Gyro, Tiny +1 Mystery Core their 3 cores and make it the Shaker Coddle support. So they get to see what comes out here, and it will be the Underlord or LFY. So they've also been playing this quite a bit lately. I don't particularly like it here, just because it means that Sand King gets relegated down. You're going to have 2 supports struggling for Blink Daggers, which means the Rubik's going to be likely very poor this game. And he's the one who's there to enable your Lifestealer, and there he is. You see that OD.
Yeah.
It's time for, the Underlord, rather. It's time for OD, baby. Like, This is the hero you want to be against.
Give me the Arcane Orbs. Give me the Intelligence. Let me slap you down. It's going to be a good time.
Well, I think we might be in a little bit of a boring meta here, Mott, as I think once after the first pick, most of these heroes were like, yeah, it'll probably be a Gyro, and an OD, and a Rubik this game. It's getting a little stale. Thursday can't come soon enough.
We don't need, the small balance patches have been nice, and of course I'm not, I'm not trying to talk and be like, oh, I know more than Icefog, but I mean, like, we kind of need one of those, like, big patches. We haven't had one of those big patches in a while, I feel like, These small balance patches are nice, but I'd like to see a lot of these heroes get changed, maybe some item introductions. I don't think that'll happen before Bucharest, especially before a major. But yeah, it's time to change things up. It's time for some of these heroes to go by the wayside, and we will see what is going to happen the next 2 days with the patch. But for now, we got to talk about this first game. This is Vici Gaming. They've got some strong heroes. LFY, they have a lifestealer to work with. They have a DP, so they can take team fights. But Coddle, Tiny, even like Coddle in general with these heroes for Vici Gaming, it feels like a pretty strong lineup, actually.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how much they can get done with this Coddle in the early laning phase. I don't envision it to be a very bullying stance, just because there is a lifestealer, right? He tends to be pretty obnoxious, but if Lifestealer's having a good game, I'm guessing the Underlord's going to have a really terrible lane. So we'll see how that goes. Tiny would love to be in a 1v1 versus an Underlord. That'd be a great way to just get your Tiny into a quick Shadow Blade or something. But, yeah, I'm assuming it's going to be Fenrir and 11 just kind of doing their thing. But we'll see where we wind up here.
And what you were talking about during the draft, when we saw the Sand King and the Rubik pickup, I kind of agree with you. I think these are 2 greedier cores in terms that they want to have those Blink Daggers, their early items, as quickly as possible. Blink Dagger especially for Sand King. So how much are they going to be able to get done on the Rubik at the Sand King? Both of them have disables. They're okay at roaming for the most part, but not sure how they're going to get to these Blink Daggers early on to this game. So that's one thing I am a little worried about for LFY. And especially
even if they like pull back to try and farm those up, it just feels like they're going to get outgreeded by a Coddle.
Exactly.
As well as a Shaker, but it's a good start here as they're on Ori.
They've got the open wounds. Ori's in trouble. He hasn't skilled up a point yet. He has a Fairy Fire. Probably won't use it. He's going to die one way or the other. 11's going to pause the game immediately. Like, hold on a second. We're having some issues. So they will get the kill to Yao, which is going to make him rather rich, actually. He's up to 300 gold now, which is nice. And he bought all those, he bought all this regen and stuff like that. So he's going to have early boots at the very least, which is good for him.
Yeah, and this is before the bounties are even out. There's those team bounties, man. I tell you, position 5 gamer here. Pretty swell.
Yeah. 40 gold,
new bounty runes. Big fan. Much easier to get your boots now. It's position 5.
Yeah. It's a little bit less for your cores, but you know what? You're missing out maybe.
They get enough.
I mean, they're going to farm anyway. It's maybe like, oh, your Quelling Blade is going to be half a second too late. Whatever. Who cares? Or your stick or your boots. Not important. Not as important as the position 5. You got to keep the position 5 happy, guys. Listen. Happy position 5 is the way to winning a Dota game, let me tell you.
So I think Lanham's... I guess his plan must be to come down bottom and he's just going to try and, like, Fisher block off Ohio.
Yes.
For some easy, like, sad life Underlord gaming.
Oh, I completely forgot this was a Lanham Earthshaker. For those of you that don't remember and weren't really in the Dota scene when this happened, MLG Columbus 2013... Lanham playing on the old DK All-Star squad had a ridiculous 4-position Earthshaker game, and I mean insane. So whenever I get to see him, it's always fun to see what he's capable of on this particular hero, and we'll see how it goes. Obviously, it's a lot different nowadays than it was, a couple years back. Earthshaker changed a lot, but something to keep in mind.
Yeah, he's mostly an Elder Titan player these days, but his Kunkka and his Earthshaker, to me, certainly stand out a lot. Especially like that armlet Kunkka that he ran for so long was so just different than what everyone was doing, and then it caught on for the while before it was all changed and whatnot.
Yeah. Man, I miss Kunkka. I wish he was in more games, to be honest.
He's definitely still a strong hero. He even got a couple of random bans thrown out during last tournament, I think.
Yeah.
For ESL Vici, but we'll see. He's not gone forever. But so this is our little dual off lane. This is that heavy aggression that you want. Tiny really wants to take tree grab early, but I think it's tough. All right, he's always skilled at the illuminate, so he probably wants tree grab now because you want to be using it to deny and everything.
Yeah.
But he's scared that he might die if he does take it.
It's so hard
to
to
stop skilling it. Yeah.
He's in a tri-lane, or he's against a tri-lane rather. So while you'd like to get that spell, you need to be careful. Maybe need Avalanche to get out.
Oh, Landon actually went just first point enchant totem.
He is whacking Ohio right now.
That's hilarious.
Meanwhile,
That's
Open Moon's on to 11 top
solution.
lane. Good Illuminate to come out. They have another Burrow in 5, but it's a little too late. They have the Telekinesis, though. That will secure a second kill. Maybe toss back into the lifesteal onto the tower. Monet has Tangos and 3 stick charges. The Illuminate will come in and it will hit. No, he actually avoids it. He sidesteps it narrowly. It's very close, and so 11 goes down in the top lane. So very good start for this defensive tri lane for LFY, getting at least 1 kill out of it.
That was a nice play, though, in his like death throws, literally, to chuck him under the tower and take away a lot of that regen from Monet. But yeah, that play by landing him down bottom, because one of the problems with Shaker as a support, especially like a poor support like 5 or whatever, like when you're in one of these situations where it's pretty bad, is you get one Fisher every 18 seconds level 1. That's so long, you know? But this way, he's just spamming enchant totem. He's like, dude, if you want to lane, just come on. I'll give you the smackdown.
I got you.
And he can also proc the aura too, like over and over. So he's probably not going to run out of mana doing that.
Well, that's true. I completely forgot about that, actually. Essence Aura is so
what
good.
A hilarious combo.
That's actually silly. It's so silly. And I still think, though, that down bottom, I'm pretty sure Ohio will still get farmed because he has Firestorm, and he's going to have level 2 Firestorm now, which helps a lot. That ability is super good. In the meantime, though, Fenrir's going to get top. They're going to use the Telekinesis. The Burst Strike will follow up as well. Only level 1 of the Sand King, level 2 on the Rubik, so he has Fade Bolt, but it won't be enough damage. They need one more auto attack, and that will do it, as Afu just claws him down and gets it done. And another kill in the top lane for LFY. They are keeping the supports top, though. That is one thing to consider for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, you're trading 3 heroes up against 2, and that means your Underlord's 1v2 bottom, but Ohio's doing fine. As you said, he can always just kind of Firestorm the wave. He's going to go back, probably get a stack off here.
Give me this money. Oh, we're going to hear the sound, too, if he gets it correctly.
Oh, it is a real good sound.
Dude, you guys ready for this? Are you ready, everybody? Boom.
Oh, that's nice. It's
Whoosh.
even better when you're a support and you just, you're casually in another lane and you start hearing this like ching, 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 and you're like, what's happening? And you're like, oh, sick, I'm getting free money right now. Thanks, dude.
Oh, you just feel rich. You feel
Sadly,
like a support
like
has never
no
felt
gold.
before. Yeah, it's like 5 for like stack or something. It's
If you
ridiculous.
stack an ancient, it's okay. It's like 26 gold or something.
You're like,
for
damn,
ancient
that's like a
camp.
CS, which I normally wouldn't have gotten, but now I'm rich.
Top lane, smoke on Afu.
Here we go. They're going to try to go again. Fenrir might be caught. Burrow Strike to come in. They have the Telekinesis and Fadeable. Should have enough mana for both. Good Rage coming from Monet. Actually avoids the Avalanche. Toss back again. Fisher comes out. Might save him the Fable. 1 auto attack. They will get the kill on Afu. Despite being tossed under the tower, will still be fine. So again, another kill in this top lane for LFY, but it's still all 3 heroes top here for this dire team.
And Paparazzi's at a point now where he should be able to just solo zone out Ohio. But again, Ohio's just going to constantly come in. Don't have Firestar, but he's going to lose a lot of int here.
Yeah, this is where it gets troublesome. Level 2 and level 3 Essence Aura, that's when you can really start pumping out the damage with your Arcane Orb. Level 1 Essence Aura, not so much. Just doesn't give you enough mana, to be honest. But now he has an Aquila to work with, which we've seen a lot of players go for because, of course, it disassembles into that Wraith Band. You can head towards that early Hurricane Pike for the most part, but obviously having the good early armor and, of course, the mana regen to work with as well, so you don't need to solely rely on the Essence Aura. So Ohio is going to have to cut the creep wave instead. He'll salve himself up. He really cannot, go toe-to-toe.
Oh, mid lane.
They're looking for a Fisher. Super will get caught. They've got the Flat Cannon. Ori, he has the level 2, or rather level 3 Rocket Barrage. Should be enough to get the kill with the Homing Missile. That is some nice Spirit Siphon damage and heal, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. It'll be a DP dead for 12 seconds, and Ori will start pressuring this tier 1 tower in the mid lane as Afu walks right on by.
Nicely done. They think there's a ward mid because Apu walked over here holding Observer, and then they placed it down, and then he walked over here, and now they're pinging over on this side, so Vici a little confused where the vision is.
Ori got to go for the TP. It's going to be close. It looks like he might stay alive with that Fissure coming in. That was a beautiful Fissure from him.
Yeah, he was just waiting, holding on to that, to like that perfect moment where he's trying to like maximize how much damage he could reduce when they were both going for attack swings. That was pretty sick.
That was hype. Just a little play like that is super nice to have, and keeps the gyrocopter alive, which could have been a lot of gold going the way of Super and Afu, but instead, the rotation doesn't really provide anything. Afu's going to drop some vision, it looks like. He might run into the Earthshaker, though.
Man, he's having a hard time finding a place to put these wards down. They just always have eyes on him. But
well,
another nice play down bottom by Paparazzi. He's every time the wave like dies over here, he's going back over and making sure Ohio's not there to try and pull it through.
The wave back, yeah.
Yeah, there are a couple of times now Paparazzi's caught him and been like, get out of here.
Not happening.
No.
This is the classic build, getting 2 points into the Arcane, 3 points in the Essence Aura. Usually you want to max these abilities out and really hold on to not getting Astral early on in the game. You don't really need it when you're in this safe lane and getting so much experience, especially solo. This is the great thing about the OD. You can leave him here alone, and your supports can roam and do whatever they want for the most part.
Yeah. And there's also, like, once you have Astral, too, there's a lot of counter rotation potential. If they try and dive you, like if this Sand King rotates down here, let's say with Lifestealer when he hits 6, and they burrow strike you, generally you're going to have time to get off your Astral.
Yeah.
And that leaves a lot of time for your team to rotate through.
And that's, I think holding the point is kind of necessary in this lane then. Like, if you have an extra level,
another
you can just
Fissure block mid.
Super going to get caught. They have the homing missile come out, the Rocket Barrage, and the call down. Not enough damage. They chance on good burrow strike though from Afu, and Ori, he'll get turned around on. It's going to be Yao getting the kill. Afu at a double damage, which was nice. But really good rotations coming in for the LFY supports. Finally getting something done in this mid lane, taking down that gyrocopter.
Yeah, Super more ready for this time too. He didn't have his wand last time, so he's a little bit tankier. He's gonna have the charges now prepped up as well, so this just makes the next gank more difficult. But despite all that pressure at top, 11 has done quite fine, right? Like, yeah, we're battling it out and everything, but we all know those early kills aren't as impactful these days as they used to be,
yeah.
And he's quite a bit ahead of the Underlord, just over 500 gold, so nice little start for Tiny. We'll see if 11 can make some stuff happen with an early Blink or a Shadow Blade, depending on what he's feeling. But this is that early rotation down towards the OD. So it'll basically be on Lana to make... Oh, he has no TP mid, and he's showing.
Is he holding
so
a
they
point?
know that there's no Earthshaker
He is holding
coming.
that point like I was talking about, but he's going to get the TP. They have a lift to come through, and that TP's not in time, and now he's in trouble. And he is going to drop the Sandy. He has actually skilled Sandys. They're going to try to turn this around. He has 8 stick charges. It's going to be tough to bring some of these heroes down. He'll stick up. He wants to drop the Sandys. He does get the kill before going down. And that was actually pretty big. Getting a kill. I was surprised he came with the Sanities. I guess his team was saying, we can't TP.
No,
so
they
even
had
Astral,
nothing.
like, it's very interesting, though. They didn't go for the Astral instead of the Sanities. I guess he got a kill out of it. So good news for him, but...
Yeah, there was Lanham had no TP. And if Shaker can't come, like Shaker's definitely the biggest hero that you'd want in there, because then he can delay it further for 11 to get there with 1 Fissure, and then you're behind the Fissures, OD just throwing out your orbs. So that will sacrifice their tower. It's gonna lose some of their jungle, which I'm sure they'd like to have.
Yeah.
Then you're on this Coddle.
That's the power of one rotation with something like a Death Prophet on your team. Just so strong, getting that tier 1 and taking control of the extra map that you've got to work with. So now already drop a ward down sort of close to the bounty rune, and now DP will just stay bottom for the most part. OD does get the kill. He's at the treads now. He's actually going to work on an early BKB. He's not even thinking about Force Staff or Hurricane Pike, at least not yet, which is very surprising, but I suppose in this game it makes some sense.
Yeah, Fenrir is about to get 6 here too. I'd like to see them try and get active with the gyrocopter as well. I think some of the best games that we saw at Katowice were more of the Miracle style, I guess I would call it, where he's like the most active gyrocopter ever when he plays this hero. You know, he somehow has been in all 3 lanes by the time he's level 8. His 11's being run down top.
He's just getting charged, but the rage won't last long enough, so he'll have to infest in. Or TPs, they might be able to get this kill, but the creep hasn't taken any damage, and it probably won't for a while. 11 needs to be careful. He has a salve. He's kind of baiting this. The avalanche will come through, not the right time. They're going to rage out, and now Or's going to get chased down, and Monet is full HP, completely fine. Nothing they can do about that, so it's unfortunate that he was in the perfect creep for Vici Gaming to not be able to grab anything. And almost gets the kill on Young 11, but 11 will be able to get out just fine.
Yeah, they almost had a counterplay there onto Ori, honestly, with Yao coming through.
This is a tough gank to get onto Paparazzi. He now has the Astral leveled up. He's going to go for 2 points into the Arcane Orb instead. Ohio is close, but he's super low in HP. Like, he's super low. I don't think they can try to fight this. They'll Firestorm and just keep the wave pushed out. But Sand King is going to back up. Maybe they smoke, it looks like. Yeah, Afu and Yao are smoking together, and they're going to rotate elsewhere.
Great ward in here, though. Just kind of spotting the shrine, seeing when people are TPing through, trying to make any sort of plays onto Ohio, and that lets him live in this whole area. So that's basically what taking the tier 1 does, right? That becomes your box now. Ohio can go there, back up here, and he just non-stop farms over and over, which is very scary against any hero that can clear fast. You're playing against a Shadow Fiend or an Underlord or something, they will just come in here, and they'll kill every camp over and over and over again.
Yeah, and Ohio can do it rather quickly with the Firestorm to work with. Got a Ring of Health now. Meanwhile, DP has popped the Exorcism. LFY are here to help out. Ori is going to throw up a homing missile. And we'll see if they can't stop this push. Glyph is not available. TP from Paparazzi. The Fisher is going to come in. And it will hit onto Super. You can see some of the lag there from the Chinese servers, of course. But that will still be official to push them back. They won't be able to get the Tier 1 tower. And it's not in deny range either. So.
Top lane 11. Ooh, just TP's out. Very low. But nothing Monet can do, of course.
So
he will have his armlet now, though.
Yeah.
So he's ready to make a rotation.
And he's in there, as they say. If he wants to go for an Infest Bomb, it certainly wouldn't be a bad idea. They don't have really that blink initiation, though, that they're looking for. Sanking, he's getting kind of close. He's at 1,100 gold.
Yeah, he needs some of the space that they've given to Ohio. He either needs the waves when they're coming down the bottom, or he needs some of these camps or something. Ohio has to give up something. Just more important that some items come on to Apu at this point.
Yeah. Ohio is up to 1,300 gold as well, so something to keep in mind. He's picked up a Vanguard, so he's just going to be a bit more tanky to work with, and will probably inevitably build into the Crimson Guard, but for now he just has the Vanguard to work with.
Vanguard that early, eh?
Yeah.
It's a lot of magic damage on the Radiant.
That's what I was thinking, too.
I guess just like the early flak and everything. It certainly helps, there's no doubt about that, but a little surprising.
Ward is going to spot Ohio. Lanham is there, but the Fisher range, it would just barely be enough. In the meantime, yeah, we'll walk right uphill. 11's going to go for the combo and brings down the Rubik. They just walked uphill and just thought, okay, we could get this. This is no problem.
I mean, I feel like I'm ahead if I'm on their team right now. Everything's been going well. We got their bottom tower. They haven't even put on, like, have they pressured any of these towers? Like, mid took some damage, but that's it. Whereas they've almost lost the mid tower on the Radiant side.
Yeah.
And we have Exorcism back up in 15 seconds, so wouldn't mind seeing Ohio rotate in and just try and force that down. One great thing about the Vanguard is he's just always going to be at full HP while he's doing all these camps. He doesn't have to figure out a bunch of regen or anything.
Yeah.
He's not really going to take damage from any of these neutrals. He could even do Ancients, probably, if he really wanted to, with enough like attribute stacks.
Yeah. Just start slapping him down. He's going to go for Hood next, which makes sense. A lot of magic damage. This is what we were talking about. I'm surprised he didn't go for Hood into Pipe first instead of going for the Vanguard, but I guess he just really wanted it.
I think it's just the passiveness. It's just like, you know, like, do I really need Hood? What does Hood do for me when I'm not fighting anyone? I'm just neutraling this entire time. You know? He doesn't plan on engaging anyone.
I guess that's fair.
More valuable.
They're not really trying to fight, which is surprising because they do have the armlet on the lifesteal. They could start making some initiations happen, but again, they don't have that Blink Dagger yet on the Sand King. He is, again, getting close. They might go for something still, though. They will see Young 11 in the top lane. They have a ward to scout him out. There's also Fenrir close by with Lanham, but I don't think they're going to know. They do walk into the vision, I'm pretty sure. So
I think if they don't get any kills soon with this armlet, this is going to be one of those games where you look at and you kind of realize why everyone talks about Battle Fury and Radiant's Lifestealer. Like,
yes,
a lot of pros have been speaking up and saying that they don't really think that the armlet build is the right way to do it anymore, because it just limits you too much. Unless you're getting an insane amount of kills, which again are worth less now, you're just going to farm so much better throughout the game with this Battle Fury. It feels a lot safer. Feels like you have some late game given to yourself, or the Radiance, which of course is very good against OD as well. So I would say, I don't know, unless they like go off pretty soon with this Lifestealer, I'm not really digging the build.
And there is still that chance.
So much space.
But it's going to get harder now too, because they have the Force Staff on the OD, so good against kiting the Lifestealer even in the early game. That force is going to be monumental if they take a fight against him. And I'm with you. I think that it's been it's going to be interesting to see what Monet can get done. They will find a double damage rune in the top rune spot if they want to try to go for something. They could try to take down this tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Exorcism is back up. It is still in a level 1 Exorcism. Fenrir, I think, dropped a ward, which will spot Monet's rotation. I'm not sure you can test this. It looks like they will go. Paparazzi's coming in. He's going to get caught. He will have to force himself away. There's the Rage open who's coming in. He has the Astral. He's going to get telekinesis. Exorcism, the silence. They're going to bring him down. There's the kill they're looking for. They might get more. They've got Lanham coming in looking for an Echo Slam, but they have the Exorcism still going. Good Coddle Blast. Keep them backed up as well. They can't quite get more kills, but what they will get is another tier 1 tower. So even with that Force Staff, a very good initiation from LFY as they collapse onto the Paparazzi. Now they're going to keep going. 11 is able to blink out, though, as he has picked up that item. They'll bring down the homing missile. Monet still really wants to go. The exorcism is up for only a second or two more, and that will mean they're going to back up more than likely now.
That's kind of stuff that we're looking for, though, right? A little bit of aggression with that armlet. And the line drawn from Tiny. Looks like he thinks that maybe they're coming down here. Wants to try and defend down bot. Be ready for that.
He is correct about that assumption. Heroes are starting to run in for
Got
LFY.
some good vision back here as well to spot Ohio as well as Yao. So he needs... we have to figure out who Tiny initiates on. So his total damage now is about 900 because he's maxed Ava and Toss. Actually, with the new True Grab, it probably goes up to like 1k or something like that.
The one True Grab hit, or however much damage you can get done in that amount of time.
So can he eliminate anyone? I mean, he could just like blow up Rubik. He would just die. He has no points in the null.
Yeah.
He can still blow up Sand King as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Fenrir is caught out here. Nice steal, too, to set up for Afu.
Good Astral pickup. Fade Bolt used. Epicenter channeled, interestingly enough.
Didn't he still telekinesis? What the hell is that?
Afu really wanted that kill. He was so close to his Blink Dagger. He's like, yeah,
I think that's exactly what it was.
I'm going to steal this from you, and you are going to give me my Blink Dagger, okay? I guess he's like, I'm not going to use it any other time. Maybe it was the thought process.
Maybe you'd use it when you just buy your Blink, though?
Oh, I don't know. I agree. I'm as confused as you are, trust me.
Yeah, that's funny. I don't know. Wasn't quite confident they had the damage, I guess. Too worried about he's going to, like, ult and blind us all back. And somehow escape like a magician. And he's just tired of seeing this Fenrir Keeper of the Light or something.
Yeah, it's like, I just want to kill you so bad. I hate this hero. He does have a Force Staff, so, I mean, and we talked about this. They now have 2 Force Staffs between him and Paparazzi. They have some room to work with in terms of kiting around this Lifestealer. They've got some good items, but we're starting to see a lot more for LFY. They have a 2k lead. The Blink Dagger is up for Afu, but here we go. A Smoke of Deceit with Vici Gaming with 3 of their heroes. 11, he'll be leading the way potentially. It's going to be Paparazzi
but before that
first.
fight, did you see how close the Sentry is down bot? Look at that. Oh, it's so close.
That's depressing.
It's like on the line.
That's actually so depressing.
But anyway,
back to the fight. Back to the Smoke of Deceit. They're both smoking at this point. Scan will come out. The scan does hit onto the heroes. They know that they're there for Vici Gaming, but they don't want to push up. They need to push this wave out first and foremost.
We need to infest, blow up Paparazzi during the rage. That's the dream here.
Yeah.
Because someone else is just going to get astraled if they get jumped on.
This silence is going to be huge, too, for the Death Prophet. We saw it in the last fight. Silencing Paparazzi so he can't get off that astral is going to be big. Ohio is leaving, interestingly enough. He can Dark Rift in.
He's ready.
So he can taxi on through. Seen some sick taxi plays in the last few days. I'm sure everybody knows Classic Universe, if you will. But anyway.
Yeah, this is maybe an appreciated part of Underlord, I guess. Just a little bit of split push, right? He's getting some wave clear going. He's like, look, I'm forcing some pressure down here now.
The thing is, even with level 2 Dark Rift, the duration, it's 5 seconds for the teleport delay. So it's kind of a long TP if your team's in a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Better. But he's thinking about just doing it right now because he's already just done a couple waves. And he's like, look, I have guaranteed pressure.
He had 80 atrophy already.
Oh, now the Dire have scanned Tiny. They know he's in there.
They have a ward close by. He's going to walk out. The wave is there. The Burst Strike comes in. There's the Infest out. They've got plenty of damage to bring down that Tiny. I mean, they blew him away. And that is going to be a big kill. Illuminate will come out. And now this is what's so difficult, though. They might have to pop Exorcism if they want to try to take this tier 1 tower. Echo Slam's going to come in from Laughton onto the Fisher. Rocket Barrage the call down. You called it. Ori got a double kill. I just missed the Echo Slam. They're still looking for more of those super on the run. They've got the Pit of Mouse. Here comes the Firestorm. Exorcism Fenrir forced away. He needs another force, but there's the Astral Save instead. Monet, his rage will be done in a moment. That means you can't fight against Paparazzi. You need to back up and be careful. So this Exorcism is going to be used for nothing, at least for now anyway. And that is a big echo from Laughton, getting some really good work done.
A little bit lucky with the Invis room, but that's Dota. You know, very handy time to have it. Very astute of him to go and pick it up. Both teams had vision down near the runes, so can't really blame anyone, I guess. Does he get that stack off? Oh, he doesn't. That last dragon. How unfortunate.
Oh my god. When the stacks are so big, they're not even, this isn't even that big actually. It's just unfortunate timing, I suppose.
It's a double dragons though, so this is the money stack.
Money.
Those are, oh, Gyro's got a stack bonus gold in there.
Give me that.
I don't want to ping it or else make a little message, I bet.
Oh, on the icon?
Yeah. Should I annoy the Ruhub casters?
It's too late.
It didn't work.
It didn't work?
I don't think so.
I guess you can't ping buffs when you're a caster.
Oh,
there it is. Nice. Listen,
got him.
That's for Light of Heaven. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Let me just ping the shrine real quick.
We're just getting them back.
Yeah.
All right. 11, he has moved past that blink. Hey, you know what I think they need, Mont?
What's that?
Another force staff. That's probably what I would say.
Yeah,
so
I think 11's
that'll bring
with
us
you.
up to 3, and then once Gyro gets his, everyone on their team can build force staffs. It's pretty hype.
It's so good against these heroes. Against pretty much all of these heroes, in fact. Against Pit of Malice, against all of the heroes on the Dire team. Force Staff is an incredible item for numerous reasons, but it's even better here. So I would not be surprised to see them go for another one after they pick one up on the Gyrocopter potentially. So, but the Gyro is building into his BKB, which he's just about finished. He just needs the recipe. Also, the OD is building into his BKB after he went for an early Hurricane Pike, which makes a lot of sense.
They've infested blind here. There's never a very good feeling. They have no wards in here. And they just infest mid. So they see Tiny show on the wave bot, and they're like, all right, well, I guess we're going bot. And they're going to smoke up with Rubik, but...
Well, they have a ward on the Sand King at the very least, so they're going to try to...
Yeah, it just doesn't feel very determined, you know? It's not like there's not a big plan going on here. They're like, oh, I sure hope Tiny comes back again.
I mean, luckily enough, they're right. Tiny's close by, and they might run right into him. Well, just kidding. Tiny knows that they're all bottom now, and he's going to back up and TP mid. So, good stuff. And they're going to smoke themselves. Vici. Feels like every time one team smokes, the other does. And that's how it's been right now, so.
How was, like, the best lifestealer at this? He would never infest unless they were, like, about to blink. He'd just be farming the whole time. And... I don't know. No one else has really gotten that far.
Uh-oh, Ohio.
In terms of the lifestealer.
Lanham breaks the
planning.
smoke. He knows Ohio's nearby, and Ohio knows it too. He's going to back himself up and under the tower, so this smoke doesn't really get anything done for LFY. In the meantime, they might find a target. Nah, there's nobody mid. Both smokes are going to come up empty-handed. Unless, are they going to run up from behind here? There is a ward, and the smoke is about to break, so this isn't going to work, I don't think, for really either team.
Yeah, they've been spotted.
They're getting pinged. I mean... Maybe they back up and try to go again for Vici and try to fight into that. I think they just want to push at this point. They haven't gotten to tier 1 yet. Pushing into Ohio is so hard. That creep wave is just dead. Firestorm, a pretty good ability for D-push, one of the best high ground holders in the game in that regard.
And this is what happens when you lose 2 towers so early. Like, they're still trying to push the Dire tier 1 top 2. They haven't lost a single tower yet. They can't go in their own jungle. Their jungle was lost very fast. And then they lost the mid tier 1 too. And that's when it's like completely gone.
Paparazzi, good force away. He needs to be careful. They should know Afu's on the high ground. Lanham is close by. Blink Burrow, the infest out. Paparazzi's going to get silenced. He will get glimmered up. That might keep him alive. I don't think they have detection, actually.
Very nice.
Exorcism is popped. This is a super 10-second BKB. 11 is in a little bit too deep. He's got a force staff. He can still use it here at this point. Epicenter's going to go. Toss back under the tower. There's the Yules. Epicenter's going to go. Paparazzi in trouble. The Echo Slam comes to the counter initiation. Paparazzi's still alive. He's astral up. He's about to get back up. Super is up under the high ground. He might get taken down the sand, and he's not enough, but finally they do get the kill. It is a double for Super. Monet still lives, but it's going to be 3 down for Vici Gaming, 2 on the LFY side. And that actually was a pretty good fight, all things considered, for where they took it for LFY.
Oh, yeah. Nice bounce up from Fenrir, or else I think DP might have got out as well.
It was pretty close, actually. That was a full 10-second BKB, and he really didn't do anything for the first half of it, so it was kind of unfortunate for LFY. They took the fight in that regard, but some good positioning from Vici, like the 4 stabs, the Astrals coming in, obviously. The Glimmer Cape especially. They didn't have detection to deal with Paparazzi once he got glimmered up by Fenrir, so.
Yeah, he should have been dead for sure.
Yeah.
So, like, what's happening this game, though? Because we lost this tower so early in the mid lane, and we lost this tower bottom so quickly. But how are they only 1k up when it feels like they've controlled, like, this much of the map, you know? It's kind of crazy that they're still getting so much on the Radiant side.
Bit of malice. Paparazzi will force himself looking for Renee. That's not really the easiest hero to find.
We spotted Gyro doing ancient stacks. Like, maybe that's something that should have been prioritized in terms of walking. He's another stack done as well. They've
had like 3 or 4 ancients being stacked, and now, as you can see, 2 more are going their way here for Paparazzi. But they've warded the mid lane. They've warded pretty aggressively with that last smoke for LFY. So now should really be when they start choking the map off from Vici Gaming. But as you can see, getting this tier 1 top might alleviate some of this pressure for Vici Gaming if they could try to get some of this tier 1 towers done. So
I'd like to see Roche next Exorcism from LFY, because they got this really early BKB. That was talked about quite a bit at Katowice, just like how many BKBs like VG just buy. Like, that's how they won a lot of their games. They just buy BKBs earlier. I heard Blitz talking about it again today. Just like BKBs, man. You know, no one wants to buy it, but it's a pretty damn good item, right?
Super good item.
If you just have an Aegis and a BKB this early, you look at this Radiant lineup, and DP is pretty much unkillable.
Like, Drum BKB has been super common for Gyrocopter, I feel like. It's just very strong. They might finally get this tier 1 tower top. They will, actually. And they're going to hold their tier 2 in the mid lane. Although it is getting low. And Exorcism is back up if they want to try to take a fight. Ohio continues to split push bottom. He's quietly had a very strong game. Full Solar Crest, full Force Staff, Vanguard done, now working on a Hill of Defiance into a Pipe of Insight. He is actually pretty much tied with the other 2 cores on his team. 10,000 for all 3 cores of LFY, and they're going to get more money now as they work on this tier 2 tower bottom. And I'm not sure Vici Gaming can get into position to defend this quickly enough. They have the BKB from Paparazzi. If they want to go, they're going to have to do it now. They will smoke up. I don't think they were spotted. The Infest is inside the Sand King at this point. And 11's going to walk up. There's going to be the Avalanche toss back onto at least 1. That will be Ohio. I don't think he's going to be able to get his ult off. He's going to get dropped down, and now they need to leave. Afu's going to be next. Sanities comes in. Nice. Afu almost getting caught with the Sandstorm. One more auto tech. They get the kill. It's a double for Ori. The Echo Slave comes in, but Super's BKB'd. Not that it matters. He still might fall anyways, and he will. Ori gets the triple kill. Too much damage. Monet rage TPs. They get the blink. The Avalanche toss. They get the kill. It'll be Yao getting dropped down. Vici Gaming. They hold perfectly, and it's those BKBs you were just talking about, Trent, that start doing a lot of the work here.
They just weren't quite ready. Like, that initiation felt kind of good for LFY. Like, if there's one hero you want them to do that to, it's going to be the Underlord, right? But he got tossed back so deep into the tower that typically when he's standing up front like that, you expect to be able to respond as the dire side. But they couldn't respond because he got tossed way back in. And then they're like, oh shit, I can't blink. I can't do my epi. Our combo's gone. Our whole plan has fallen apart. And then they just run them down with the BKBs.
I mean, it was a great initiation from 11. This is why he's one of the best offlaners. We saw him really start, you know, pretty much at the start of this DPC season, he really started owning. Dota Pit, I remember him being really strong. I think he's just one of the best offlaners in terms of China, in terms of in general. And his tiny play is pretty good.
The truest, like, feast or famine. I feel like it gets thrown around a lot without people, you know, they just hear it once about a player or something. But I think if you've watched Young 11 play, you're going to be like, yeah, this guy throws some games real hard. Like, he fucking blows it sometimes. But then there's other games where he single-handedly wins, and usually both of those games occur on puck, where he either completely throws it with some dieback that no way it should have happened, or he just pulls out some god-tier play, and you're like, wow, this guy's insane. Like, so I really like watching him 11, but he is not consistent. That is certainly not his thing. But you know what? Sometimes you need that guy who can just reach this peak that no one else quite can.
Yeah. I mean, and Vici Gaming as a whole are so close to getting these tournament wins. They're literally 1 game away, you know, 1 series away. Obviously not you know, they were 2 games away in this past Katowice major, but they're having some success at the very least.
Only Liquid's been in more finals, and obviously, you know, that's Liquid, so...
Yeah. Oops. 11. They're still going to go for him anyway. He's just dead. They have no way of really dealing with this. He can't get out. He could have forced, but... I mean, at that point, he would have died anyways, so... LFY will find a nice kill, even with the missed Burrow Strike, though, coming out.
And Exorcism up in 10 seconds. So we're going to get roast this time. We're going to make an effort here. Got the Blink, the BKB. I love this build on DP, on Razor. Both very similar heroes right now in the meta.
Yeah, you turned me onto it, I think, the other day, actually.
Yeah, I wasn't losing that game, dude.
Well, we lost anyway, so...
Well, we should have won.
We definitely should have won. I threw it. That was my bad. Sorry, team.
It's okay.
But the Blink Razor, I was not expecting. The Blink TP, I also really wouldn't expect. But it makes sense when you think about it. Getting in there, getting the silence, or getting the static link, whatever hero you're on. It's very important to get that fight started the way you want it. But they will take Roche for LFY. The Aegis will go to Monet more than likely, and it does. He's working on a Nullifier, and against BKBs, there's not really a better item, in my opinion. I think it's a pretty strong choice for Nullifier.
Yeah, it takes a little while to get there, obviously, but solid.
They have vision onto Afu. Good blinding light back, but the Infested, and now Fenrir's in trouble. Good high for Paparazzi. Gets the BKB off the time. Here comes the call down as well. They're going to use the flat cannon. Echo Slam from Bottom comes in. The Sandy's dropped down. Monet's in trouble. He's still alive for now, but they will Astral him up. Super, he's popped his BKB. Exorcism as well as the Spirits of Monet. Might lose his life. No, just alive at this point. Aegis will not get dropped down. They buy back at the Sand King, and now with Exorcism down, you might want to back up here if you're LFY. They might try to reinitiate here. They do have telekinesis. They've got the Astral to work with. Ori is pretty far up. Paparazzi already uses BKB. Did Ori? Yes, he did as well. So you need to be careful here for Vici Gaming. Monet is so close to the Pit of Malice coming in. Ori needs help. He might need to get forced back. Good hide, as well as the Glimmer coming in. And Super needs to be careful. No BKB left. Epicenter coming in. They're going to grab Ori. The Force comes in. The Spirit Siphon, he actually will get dropped down. Now Monet looking for more. Toss Avalanche. Yeah, I'll see you later. And now Monet needs to be careful. They're looking for that Enchant Totem. He kind of misses the Force Staff, and now 11 might be in trouble. He gets forced away himself. Blank Burrow. Paparazzi's going to get caught. Pit of Malice coming in. They're going to drop the Dust as well as the Glimmer comes in. Good usage of that Fisher, which will get the Aegis down finally. LFY They still will get the tier 2 tower in the meantime. Blinding Light up onto the high ground into Lana, but he gets the rage up in time, and Lana is going to fall. He wasn't expecting it.
Fenrir betrays him.
What are you doing?
You got a right next to me, dude. What the hell was that? You can't even give me a glimmer or a force staff? What's going on, man? I don't be dead for 40 seconds. I got to blink.
Could you imagine how differently that fight goes if they could have gotten that kill on Monet earlier? Like, he was one arcane orb away from death.
Yeah.
Or like they just get somehow they get the Aegis. Then that fight just turns into them not being able to get the tier 2 tower. They back up. Like, so close for Vici.
Interesting buyback from Afu. He really wanted to keep fighting that under that tower. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's really worth, but...
Well, the Blink Echo was pretty strong for Lana. It didn't feel like it did that much, to be honest, but it was a good Echo in terms of it caught a lot of heroes. I thought right there they were just going to win the fight, but they just didn't have enough damage to break down some of these other heroes for LFY, so...
Man, Ori, in that first part of the engagement, he got every flat cannon off.
Speaking of Ori, he's going to get caught. The Glimmer Cape comes in. He pops the BKB. He's already pretty low. He just has to run. He pops the Flutter from the Butterfly, looking for Afu, but there's no detection. They drop the homing missile. Ohio might be caught on. The Pivot Balance comes in. 11. They're going to force it back and forth all over which way. He's going to get caught. Enchant Totem Fisher coming through. And now Ohio is going to try to get out of here. The detection is gone. Avalanche coming in. Now Monet pops the Rage. Burrow strike down to 2. It's 1 dead on the side of LFY. They're still looking to fight Paparazzi and Lana, but they're all pretty tanky as the Glimmer keeps coming in. Super will find Ori, though. He pops the BKB in the Exorcism. It's already back up. That will secure the kill. They need to back away now for Vici Gaming. It looks like they will be able to get out. A 1-for-1 trade, but a much better trade for LFY, getting that kill onto the Gyrocopter. But at the very least, Vici are fighting out of the base. They're not losing their tier 3 to an Exorcism, so it's not the end of the world at this point. And but it's still, these are tough fights for both sides, really.
Yeah, Lanham like literally can't even afford dust. He's been so poor. He used to buy a sentry because that was all he could buy at the time. So they are certainly lacking detection. Hurting them a little bit there, but...
And Coddle can't... He doesn't want to buy it. He's getting his Ags. He's actually super close, too. He's 1 component away. That's something we haven't even talked about, is the greediness of this Coddle, just really him being a Coddle, not necessarily being greedy, but he already had a Force Staff. He has a Glimmer Cape. He's about to have Ags. And then you have Daytime come out, and now how are you going to fight into that? Do you have enough burst damage to kill some of these heroes? Not when you have to deal with an Illuminate heal, I think, is the issue.
Yeah, and that's why 11's build is the way that it is. Why he went Blink into Force and he like wasn't getting that many items is because he's been creating a lot of space for Fenrir. So he knows he's going to be sacrificed at least a little bit. But Fenrir also, I mean, 32 minutes in, only having like the Force Staff with no Eggs, you're like, well, what the hell's going on? But he went in for the full Glimmer, and they lost a lot of the map control early on in this game. So he's just a little bit behind, I think, where he'd want to be. But considering the situation, I'd say he's done quite well. He's been living in a lot of these engagements, too. There's a couple times where he's gotten some of the kills and came out with like 400 gold from a fight.
It's been pretty surprising, actually, the fact that he can live so long. He's usually able to save the Force for himself, where he's got a Blinding Light to work with. And again, this is before the Ags. If they can get this tier 2 tower, it'd actually be huge. They don't have Exorcism for another 36 seconds, which means you might not want to fight. And they're just going to give this up, actually. And that is a very big tower for Vici Gaming. One that has finally been given away by LFY. Will secure them some more room to work with here on this Radiant team.
And if you think, the last thing that happened in this game was they just picked off Ori, right? Like, they killed him up by their own Ancients with the Death Prophet, with that last Exorcism, and they can't do anything. That definitely feels bad, you know? You take a fight this far on your side of the river with the Exorcism being used, and you just you can't do anything after. Yeah. So, although they're the ones who lost that last engagement for Vici, they end up being the ones who benefit from it. They just spend 5-man top and say, hey, no Exorcism, go, go, go. So, quick capitalization by them. And at least Ohio did push out bottom quite a bit as well, though, so he's getting a little bit of gold on himself, and he's going to go in towards that Halberd, which we all know OD hates.
Yeah, he does not want to have to deal with that item. And he's getting rather close. The Sange is almost done, actually. There is the Aghanims now picked up, though, for the Keeper of the Light, the item we were talking about a lot. And Paparazzi himself is actually working on, first of all, he has the Shivas, which is nice. And now he's working on a Scythe device, having the Hex, getting some extra control in some of these fights. It's a very close game still, Trent.
Super gets one, too.
Oh, yeah, he just picked it up, actually. That's pretty nice. Okay. Still, it's a 2K lead, though, for Vici at this point.
Yeah, they have 2 minutes of daytime left. See if they want to try and make a play with that. They don't have the gem yet, so that's the real time you're looking for, but looks like Fenrir is probably going to be the one to buy it, as is the common thing, so they'll just have to sentry around a little bit, and they don't have any left now. Alright, they have 1 left on the Coddle. So, a fight actually wouldn't be that good for them, but they are not going to contest right now from the Dire. They're just scouting out Roche, and being like, oh yeah, that's not gonna be back for a while.
This is good timing for Vici, knowing it's daytime, pushing the bottom tier 2 tower. Roche isn't available, obviously, so there's no other alternative other than to try to push top for LFY. And what was once, you know, a pretty decent map control for LFY is now pretty much gone. There's still a tier 2 in the mid lane, but conversely, there's a tier 2 in the top lane for Vici Gaming to work with. They will TP Ohio back home. He'll deal with the waves. His pipe is done. Obviously, we talked about that, but or rather, the halberd coming out very soon.
This Radiant Vision is just so good right now. Nice little triangle. They see a lot of what is going on that part of the map, so they're probably fully aware as to where the LFY squad are right now.
Yeah, Gyrocopter might run into them if he's not careful. 11's got a TP in, surprisingly enough. Fisher on the other side. They're looking for Manoia. The Infest comes out. There's the Burrow Strike, and actually Ori's in trouble. He needs his BKB. He can't get it off in time. The Hide's not there. Ori's going to get dropped down. They even Dark Rift in with Ohio, and this fight is actually going pretty well for LFY. They've got Lanham getting caught. Good enchant totem, or rather blinding light. Now Lanham uses the enchant totem. The Astral comes in to save him for now. I think it was actually stolen by Yao. And he also steals Fisher. He actually mistimes it, and Lanham's able to blink out somehow. And they will go for 11. They've got Ohio. They're going to drop the Sanities potentially. Hurricane Pike comes in, but Ohio's fine. Burrow Strike onto 11. He's got a 4-step. He's going to get hidden, at least for the time being. Blinding Light comes in, super pops the Shiva's Guard. 11 gets forced back, I think maybe twice, actually. Fisher, Echo from Lanham, big dunk coming in. The Sanities drop down. They won't get any kills. They infest out on one. They will lose Yao. Afu gets dropped by the Shiva's Guard of Paparazzi, getting him a double kill, and now Ohio's on the run as well. He's got a 4 super to work with as well. His blink is ready and up and ready to go. Super actually gets himself out. I think he was getting glimmered down. Now Monet, he's going to have to infest out. He's got Rage going. They need to take him down. Meanwhile, Lanham gets the Fisher off onto 2. 11 comes in, gets the Avalanche, the Blinding Light. He's out of mana, and he's going to get stunned because of it. And now Paparazzi going in, but he's silenced. The Shiva's Guard comes out. They take down Monet, and now Super's going to be next. It's 11. Tosses him back, looking for more damage. The Yule Scepter, he's got Blink in one. Can he get out the Shiva's Guard? Perfectly timed. They'll get the kill. Fisher from Lanham. Lanham, the big player on this Earthshaker, absolutely getting it done. A 4-for-1 fight going the way of Vici Gaming. Beautifully done, beautifully kited, especially from this Radiant team.
Yeah, big credit to Fenrir and Lanham in that engagement. Fenrir is constantly bouncing around. You saw the mana leak. He's throwing out some damage. Obviously during the nighttime for most of that fight, so kind of hard to heal everybody up, but still gets a lot of work done, and that puts him right up towards that gem, right in time for Roche, so they can regain full control of the map. It just
spawned as Paparazzi walked in. Now they can take it. There is no DP. There is no life steal. They have no buyback. This is ages and cheese going for Vici unless we see some ridiculous play coming from these 3 heroes of LFY. It will not be easy, but I think more than likely Vici will be able to take this.
Yeah, these drawn-out fights are really hurting them because he has the armlet built again, right? Like, he went in for that, and so he's very burst-oriented. He hasn't been able to farm up a ton of items. You know, you look at this OD, he's like 22k, whereas this Lifestealer spent a lot of his time just inside of the Sand King. And so once he uses his initial burst out of the Infest, he just doesn't have a whole lot going for him, whereas that OD was just stacking up that in. It felt like he was waiting forever on Paparazzi, but then that insane setup from Lanham allowed the beautiful hammer smack them all down.
It's surprising. He did a lot of damage. They didn't die just off of the Sanities. He had to hit him a couple of times more to actually get those kills. But
yep.
Now, though, the big item comes out for Ohio. He has the Heaven's Halberd to work with, so you need to be careful if you are, in fact, this OD. Something to consider. He is level 25, and he goes for the 60-second Arcane Orb Insta-Steal, which is pretty insane. And
definitely the good talent, I think, on that one.
And also, Super's BKB is down to 5 seconds. You know, we talked about BKBs for Vici Gaming, but Super's being down to 5 is considerable. He does have it available, although Paparazzi is looking to go.
They need to recall one in.
They're going to do just that. The Hex comes out. Shiva's Guard will go. They've got 11 to use the Avalanche. This is going to be a lot of damage and more than likely the kill. He pops the BKB, the Yule Scepter. Can he blink out in time? He can! He actually makes it through. There's no way. 11 still might find him. He's got the Shadow Blade. He's about to get this kill. 1 auto attack, and it was a good effort coming in from Super, but he will not be able to survive. There was the setup they were looking for. The Hex with the 4-staff starting it off for Paparazzi, and now they've got a wave to push into this top tier 3 tower. It is still nighttime.
You might want to be patient. Yeah, exactly.
It's 1 minute. Yeah.
You got plenty of time this Aegis. Do not rush anything. Yeah, maybe we can chip away this tier 3. Then again, in 1 minute, DP's up, so a little bit.
They're going in. 11, the toss back. That'll be onto Ohio. There's the Halberd coming in, and that means he can't really fight. Even with the BKB, he needs to be careful. He does have it. He has the cheese to work with as well. Now he's going to work. The Arcane Orbs doing work. They'll get another kill. It's Afu getting dropped down from 56. He has no buyback. They pop the pipe on the tower. 11's getting a little bit low. He needs to be careful. They still have the cheese. That'll be onto Paparazzi. He might want to trade it to 11. Monet looking for the open wounds, but he gets double forced away. And all of this int is stacking up. It's 40 int now stolen, which is beautiful.
And it's still going to be there when DP comes back because he has that talent. So
and there is BKB in 6 seconds for Super when he does survive, but Yao now getting caught and killed. That is going to be the Rubik down with no buyback. It's all crumbling for LFY here in this first game, and Vici more than likely to get this set of racks at the very least, as there is no glyph available. All right,
no contest here, and out we go. Nothing left to gain, though. Tier 2 in the mid lane. Are they going to make the full wrap? Are they feeling that confident?
All the way bottom, potentially. That's pretty interesting.
I mean, it is daytime. You can just heal up. Why not?
They,
We're going in.
Did lose their ages, I believe, on Ori. Satanic is done, though. Yeah, they're just
though.
going straight through. They have the wave top. If that gets pushed out, though, they'll be backdoor protected. They need to be a little careful. They could just try to push this wave, but it's still all the way back at the bottom lane. In the meantime, though, they could go mid. The tier 2's getting pressured.
They're just going to shrine up. They're going to relax.
Yeah. And it is daytime. So they made
casually healing everyone for 500.
They made all that happen. Like 11 went in when we said it was a minute left. That's literally when he jumped in. They made all of that happen still with a minute left on daytime. So they now have the full length of the day to work with in terms of Illuminate, heal, and keeping everybody alive for Fenrir.
Dude, he still has half of his 40 inch.
Afu's jumping in. The Infest comes out, and Fenrir, we might see him actually die for the first time or one of the first times. He's going to get dropped down. Paparazzi's BKB, they're trying to get him, but it's so difficult. Super's BKB is done. Ori is in now. They use the Halberd. Echo Slam comes out. It doesn't do much, though. And now they're going to find Lanham. He's going to get caught and potentially killed by Monet. Fisher keeps him alive for now, but he's still going to get chopped down more than likely. He'll get a double kill on the other side. Exorcism is still going. Afu stays alive. Fenrir, I believe, bought back and TP'd in. They're still trying to fight this, though. The toss coming in. Ohio looking for Ori. Can't quite find it. Monet has the open wounds, but they have to maybe back up here. On the other side, Paparazzi is in. He's about to find a kill. He will. He is going to get silenced up. He will get Glimmer in the meantime, though. That'll keep him alive. They've got Ori still going to work with the flat cannon. Now the Arcane Orbs are coming in. There's the Shiva's Guard. The Sanity's dropped down. That'll get one kill. Monet tossed up into the air. He's dropped as well. Vici Gaming elongating these fights so well, making sure they spread out over pretty much the multitude of this mid lane and are able to find a couple of big kills because of it. And now a 14K lead for the Radiant team.
Pretty much been the story of this whole game for them. Delay, delay, delay. Just make everything take longer than LFY wanted to. And don't let them get this like DP, Lifestealer, Underlord, Tricord sort of thing going. You look at these heroes. You have a Tiny, Gyro, and an OD. These are just 3 heroes you would rather have over the other 3. You know, moving at that point into the game.
I mean, they are feeling strong. They're about to get their second set of racks. They've got the Hex onto the DP, trying to find more, but gets forced away by Ohio. The Shiva's Guard comes in for Paparazzi in the Outworld Devourer. Eul Scepter, they're going to try to turn this around. He's got BKB. He gets it off in time. Still with the cheese to work with. In the meantime, the Mother Rax is dead. Super pops his BKB. No exorcism available for 40 seconds. And now that is gone. Sanities gets dropped down. Doesn't do too much. In the meantime, though, Super is getting very low. It's one auto attack away from Paparazzi. He can't find the kill. The Astral comes out, though, on the Ever-centered Sand King, so he gets caught in place. The Burst Strike comes in to toss back on Monet. They might finally get Paparazzi, but he gets healed up with the cheese coming out, and the Illuminate is still there. It's still getting spammed. They've got the Dark Rift Ohio trying to get back home. Paparazzi will use his Astral, but he will get sent back, I believe. Yes. Burrow Strike comes in from Afu onto 11. He's going to get forced away. Toss Avalanche combo brings down Afu again. Monet now open wounds up, trying to find 11, and he will get dropped down with the Firestorm on top of him. So it is Young 11 dead, but 2 on the LFY side. The buyback comes in. They want to finish this now for Vici Gaming. There's the Echo Slam from Lottom onto 2. The Hex comes out as well. They've got the Satanic rolling for Ori, and that'll do it. A double kill for 11. They get down Monet. No buyback there, and next will be Ohio, dead for 100 seconds. That will do it. Vici Gaming take game number 1 as they wipe all 5 of LFY off the map.
Yeah, did not feel like they just couldn't hit that timing, right? They were trying to go for a certain idea, certain strategy, get an objective every time Exorcism is down. Make it a tower or make it a Roche. And that's pretty much the dream goal with this lineup. The Infest bombs were not there to the point where they would have needed it to be victorious here. Maybe because the Blink came out pretty late for the Sand King, and he wasn't enabled past that. He had Armlet and then just like didn't do anything with it for like 6 or 7 minutes or something, which... Kind of feels bad, but he also had a hard lineup to do it into. He can only fight during the rage. He has to get that big initial burst because then he's going to get blinded light every single fight, or he's going to get controlled by Fisher, or someone's going to get astraled. So they had to go in the OD every time, or else the OD is going to astral whoever they burst on top of. So it was very selective stuff that they had to fight into. And you saw how many sentries got spammed by this Earthshaker. He was pretty poor throughout the game on LAN-M. I wonder how many he bought. He bought 9 sentries, and the Call bought 7. So they were quite prepared for any sort of a vision advantage for LFY, because that's what they would have needed for those infest ganks. And we talked about where they were infesting near the tier 1 with literally 0 vision on the enemy side of the map. Like, you're not going to win a game doing that. There's no way. If your game is that needed to, like, get those infest momentum balls rolling, you can't just be sitting blind and running into the enemy jungle, you know?
And of course, you also have to remember the amount of 4-steps that Vici Gaming had. So when you do find that initiation,
extremely well.
When you find that initiation, it's just like, well, we can't kill anybody. Those fights would last literally minutes, just because the 3 4-stabs would all be off cooldown. They just use them to get away, or the BKBs would be available, or they had a Shiva's Guard to slow some heroes down. That was a very tough game for LFY.
They got out executed for sure, though. Like, I think Vici played that so well, as you said, with the itemization, but then just like in those fights, like the plays by Fender, except for the one time he bounced Monet right on the LAN-M. Like, yeah.